In this video, I'm going to be talking about the pre-release coding tasks, and there are a total of 3 tasks, and this code right here is the first task. So the first thing I did for this task was say print and then the following sentence. So this will print whatever's been written in the quotation marks onto the screen itself, and the same thing goes for this line of code here, but it'll print out a different sentence because the things inside the quotation marks are different. This variable is total num parcel. It has been set to integer, so only whole numbers can be entered in, and input is used in order to ask the user a question. This variable here, const no parcel, will now be equal to total num parcel. The counter here has been set to an integer and also been set to 0. And here we're using the for loop. So for a repeat loop in range, 1 const no parcel plus 1. So now this loop here will repeat as many times as the const no parcel has been set to. So since we set the const no parcel to the total num parcel, so we set this to this variable, whatever number the user inputs into this question will be the number of times that this code will loop. So within this for loop, we have 4 questions right here. They're all set to integer and they're all inputs, so you know that they are questions. And we have 4 variables, so width, height, length, and weight. This is reject. So if the width is more than 80, you have to reject.append. So basically you add to the list for reject. So if suppose it's more than 80, so if it was 222, then this would basically say true, and it would be added on to the list of things that your parcel would be rejected for. Same goes for height, length, and width, height and length. So if they're more than 80, it will also go into the reject category. Here, if the width plus the height plus the length equals to more than 200, the same thing will go and it will be added to the reject list. If the weight is more than 10 or the weight is less than 1, same thing goes, so it'll be added to the list for reject. So this is if len reject, so is more than 1 to continue to the next line. So basically this line of code means that if there are more than 0 rejects, then to print that this parcel has been rejected, and for reject in reject, so this is the for loop, it'll say each of the things that you rejected for. And then else is basically, so if all else fails in this code here, to print your parcel as being accepted. So when we run this code, that's how it begins. So what is the total number of parcels in the consignment? So we can say 2. The width, 22, 22, 22. So it'll be accepted. But if we go over its range, so if it's over 80 for the width, the height, and the length, so, and more than 10, so 40, it will be rejected and everything was out of its range. So everything here is why it's been rejected. Now this is task 2 and task 3 together, so this code will be for both of these tasks. And the first thing I've done is set 7 variables, so accepted, which is set to 0, rejected, all these are set to 0, so there's the accepted, rejected, accept weight total, accepted price total, accepted count, rejected count, and total weight. And these are my variables. We have used a while true loop here, and so the while loop, so there's no limit. And the true function will run until we use the break function in order to cut it off. So within this loop, I put in print, so we have to basically print whatever is in the quotation marks. The width, the height, the length are all set to integer and all set to input, so this is asking the user a question. Weight is set to float, so it can be a decimal, and it has also been set to input, so it will also ask the user a question. So now this code right here, so total weight plus equals weight, this variable, total weight, will add on to the input for weight, then it will become the new input for weight. Here, if the length is less than or equal to 80, and the height is less than or equal to 80, and if the width is less than or equal to 80, and if the weight is less than or equal to 10, to continue to the next line, which is print accepted, then the accepted weight total plus will equal to weight, so the same thing, the variable accepted weight total will add on to the weight, and now will become the new, will become equal to the weight. And here is accepted count plus equals to 1, so the variable accepted count will add on 1. This line here is if the weight is less than or equal to 5 and the height is less than or less than 80, same goes for the length and the width, less than 80, then the price will equal to 10. Accepted price total plus will equal to price, so the variable accepted price total will add on to the price and will now become equal to the variable price. Then it will print this line here. Then it will also print this variable, so it will print price, so the price of your parcel, and it's in string, it's in alphanumeric. And now the accepted variable will add on 1 as well. So else if, so if these two fail, if the weight is less than or equal to 10, and the weight is also more than 5, the price will be 10 times the weight itself. So if suppose the weight was 5, the price would be 50. The accepted price total plus equals to price, so it's the same as before. The variable price, accepted price total, will add on to the price and will now be equal to the variable price. It will print accepted as well, and the same thing here as I said before here. Same thing, accepted plus equals 1, the variable accepted will add on 1. So if all else fails up here, will be the else function that will run. The print, it will print rejected, and then the same thing as the first task, it will say all the reasons as to why this certain parcel was rejected, and this is the list, the same as before. Here I have said rejected plus equals to 1, so the variable rejected will now add on 1, and rejected count plus equals to 1, so the variable rejected count will also add on 1. Here I've used print, so we just have to print whatever's here. But for this specific line, it says right now there are, and then there are certain type of brackets. These are curly brackets, and here I've used that 3 times, right there, there, and there. Dot format, bracket rejected, comma accepted, comma total weight. Now this code means that wherever I put the curly brackets, it has been used in order to then add the formatting. That's why I put dot format, which will add in the values for rejected, accepted, and total weight. Now here I've used string, 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 alphanumerics, and this will add in the input for these. So accepted count, rejected count, accepted weight total, and accepted price total. So these are all variables, and the input for these will then show up on the screen and be printed out. This section of code here is basically a new variable, so another parcel equals to string input, so this is asking the user a question, and string is an alphanumeric, so it can be both numbers and letters. So if another parcel equals to yes in lowercase, or if another parcel equals to yes in uppercase, to continue with the whole thing, the whole code again. So it will ask all the questions to the user again. But if that doesn't work, then to print thank you for using our program, till next time, and this loop will break and everything will end. So when you run this, so we add in the details, so 22, 22, 22, 2, accepted. So right here, 1 accepted parcel, total weight is 2 because we put 2 here, price would be 10 because for one parcel that's under 5 kilograms, it'll be $10. The total weight of the accepted parcels, because this is accepted, then it would be 2, so the same thing. So if suppose we write yes again, so if we go overboard, rejected, so rejected parcels will equal to 1 now, 1 here for rejected parcels. These 2 won't change because this is only for the parcels that were accepted. So now if we say no, so no thank you, it will print out thank you for using our program, till next time. So the whole program has basically been cut off because we used a break. Thank you.